Hey guys, this is Woodshop Junkies and today I'm jumping back in with my ultimate space saver for small workspaces. So just to bring everybody up to speed, I recently started with my latest ultimate build series, and for this one I'm focusing on a organizer and storage unit that can double as a workspace, kind of like a compact workshop. I'm hoping that the design will be adaptable to a range of applications, like a craft space in a small home, or in a child's room to store things like clay, puzzles, crayons, Legos, but when it is packed away seem like a normal wall unit or cupboard against the wall, but be able to transform into a space where the person can use what is stored inside. Right, so as I mentioned in my previous video, the unit is going to be divided into 3 segments, each with the focus being multifunctionality. For this video, I'm still focusing on the center section, which is going to be a wall mount cabinet with 2 doors and things stored inside. But when the person needs a work surface, it can double as a table. Now, the motivation behind this design is floor space. In a small workshop or a small home, floor space is worth gold, and though a table is useful, when it is not being used, it is pretty much wasting space. In my previous video, I built the sliding or folding mechanism of the table/cabinet, and today I want to finish it up. If you have any questions about the mechanism, the link for the video will be down below. To get started, I'm going to build the fixed component of the cabinet, which is divided up into 2 segments, an upper and a lower segment. First up is the upper segment. Okay guys, so this is the upper part of the fixed component of the cabinet, and I didn't go into too much detail while making it because it should be fairly straightforward. I'm going to fix this in place and then just quickly explain my idea behind the design. Right, so that's the top half of the fixed component, and the purpose is to form the enclosure of the cabinet when the unit is stored or up against the wall. And as I said, fairly straightforward. There are a few noteworthy aspects about this component, starting with the sides, which were made slightly shorter to accommodate the swing arm. Then with my router, before I assembled the unit, I added a chamfer to the outer edge of each one of the sides, and the purpose of this chamfer is to act as a lead-in when the unit is being folded closed, so it doesn't hook on this outer edge. Finally, I only fixed the upper component or upper half of the fixed component using screws and without glue, because I want to reserve the ability to make small changes as the project progresses. Next, I'm going to assemble and fit the bottom half of the fixed component. Okay guys, so that's the bottom half of the fixed component, and besides forming the bottom part of the enclosure, it also forms two shelves, or creates two shelves. Now once again, I didn't glue everything in place because I might want to make changes along the way, but for now I'm building it according to the design I drew up. Now you will also notice that I built the two shelves at different depths, because when the unit is being folded open or the top is folded down, it actually travels with a curve. The curve clears the wider upper shelf at this point, but at the lower point it can only accommodate a narrow shelf. That's why for the small shelf I only used a piece of 1/4 inch hardboard for the base, because I'm not going to be putting excessively heavy items in the small shelf. For the trim pieces I installed them with a little bit of a lip so that small items can't roll off onto the top when it is folded open. Now I used solid pine, but I would have preferred to use 1/2 inch plywood, but unfortunately my local supplier was out of stock. As for the open area at the top, yeah, I'm reserving that to fix things like tools or bins or whatever I may have a need for. So next up, I'm going to add the doors to the unit. Okay guys, so that's the cabinet doors installed, and I used MDF because I like the finish and I might want to paint it at some point. Now these will obviously double as the work surface or as the table when the unit is folded down. And I use soft close hinges, so I don't need to install latches to keep the doors closed, but I did mess up in my design because I didn't allow enough space here to accommodate the hinge when the unit is folded up. So I'm going to make a small cutout over here just to accommodate the hinge so I can close the unit. Okay guys, so at this point my vision for the project should make a lot more sense. In this position I've got a wall mount cabinet that I can use to store whatever I need to store, but it can also fold down and double as a work surface or a table while still giving me access to what is inside. Now the project is still very far from finished. I still need to add some trim pieces and do some sanding, and I also want to add a soft open feature and locks to keep it in the cabinet position and in the table position. Okay guys, so as I said, the project is obviously far from finished or far from being the ultimate space saver for small workspaces, but at least now it is starting to be functional and I can start using it. In the top here, I wanted to do a very complicated drawer system where I can store and organize small parts, but in the end I decided to go with these plastic bins. They're quick, they're easy, and they're fairly inexpensive. So I will add something similar to this to my Amazon storefront and drop the link down below if you guys are looking for something along these lines. But that is going to have to be it for this video. As I mentioned, I'm very excited about this project and completing it because I think it's going to be a very useful addition to my shop. At this stage, I will admit, cosmetically it doesn't look fantastic, but once the unit is completed, I gave it a bit of a sand down, softened some of the edges with a router and maybe put on some paint. It's going to look a lot better. So I'm really excited about getting it finished. If you guys want to see me complete this project and you aren't subscribed yet, you should do that now. In the meantime, I'm going to jump on my next video, which is going to focus on small and simple additions I can make to organize and simplify life in a small shop. So look out for that. For now, however, that's going to have to be it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Cheers.